Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Casey. I am in Peru in the beautiful Amazon jungle. I absolutely love it here. Let me show you. I started this adventure by flying from Cusco to Puerto Maldonado. We got on the bus and then drove to G Adventure's office where we rearranged our bags to a duffel bag. And then we had some lunch on the way, which was some chicken and some yuca and vegetables, which was really good. After the bus ride, we would transfer to a small boat and take the river to the lodge. There was wildlife almost immediately. This was a caiman on the riverbank. Shortly after, we spotted a capybara, which is the first time I've ever seen one of these. The boat ride wasn't really too long before we would arrive to the Tampa Lodge. This lodge was absolutely beautiful and had way more amenities than I expected to have in the middle of the Amazon jungle. This was my little cabin that actually had 2 units. I stayed in Unit A, and then another woman from our tour group stayed in Unit B. And you can actually hear each other a little bit because the roof is not really connected to the walls. But it ended up being okay, and I don't think we really bothered each other. They're slowly adding electricity to all of these cabins. My cabin did not have electricity yet, so at night I had to use some candles and then take a shower with my flashlight. Honestly, this didn't bother me, it just kind of added to the experience. And I was able to charge all of my electronics at the main lodge area, so I didn't have to worry about that either. Here's the main lodge area I was talking about. We would hang out here, there's a bar and bartender. We would just kind of talk, play cards. I actually learned 2 new card games on this trip. I've said this in my other 2 Peru videos that Peru has some of the best food in the world. It did not disappoint at this lodge either. After dinner, Leo had a night walk planned for us. So this lodge has a bunch of little trails all around it. First, we had to stop to get our boots because we would be walking in some mud. It was really convenient to just get right on the trail. We followed Leo and he was able to point out some pretty cool insects, which I don't know how he found any of them, and he turned the light off, it was pitch black. But we found this really cool scorpion, which you may not be able to see until we turn on the black light, and it is black light reactive. The next morning, we got on our boots again and then got on a different kind of boat so that we could go on a jungle walk. Before we even pulled away from the dock, we found some of these howler monkeys up in the trees. And a little way down the river, we found a capybara that was swimming and watched him get out of the river. Once we arrived to the trailhead, we were met with some mud. So the team, which this is Leo here, laid out some boards for us to kind of use as a balance beam up to the top. I wish I had the words to describe how much I love being in the jungle. This walk was definitely a highlight of the trip for me. Unfortunately, we did not spot any jaguars, but we did see plenty of the paw prints. There was some fruit that fell from a tree that we were able to sample. I could not tell you the name of this, but it was really sweet and kind of like a mango. Walking through the jungle surrounded by these massive trees was just such a surreal experience. The trail opened up to a lake where they had some boats waiting for us, which I've never been on a boat like this that had the 2 canoes underneath and the platform on top. There's Leo working really hard to get us across the lake. I want to brag on Leo for a second because he just made this trip so much better. He was an amazing guide, very sweet, very attentive. He was also very knowledgeable and able to find all of the animals for us with no problem. I'm going to include his information in the description box. That way, if you want to go to the Amazon, he can set up a tour for you. We made our way across the lake to a different trail. On this trail, I did find some tracks for an armadillo. This trail led us to one of the most massive trees I've ever seen. If I remember correctly, they said that this was inspiration for the Avatar movie for the home tree. On the way back to the boat, we had to be careful with all of these leafcutter ants working really hard. While we were on the trail with the other tour guide, Leo had stayed at the boat, and he was able to catch a little surprise for us. Yep, you guessed it, that's a piranha. We did feed the piranha some crackers, and you can see them going to town on that. We were told that you can swim with these piranhas, but I was not taking any chances. We made it back through the jungle and back to our motorboat. On our way back, we found this entire family of capybaras. Can you count how many? Once back to the lodge area, myself and one other girl from our group decided to go and explore some of the trails around. We actually found these little tamarin monkeys, which were just the cutest things ever. We stood and watched them for so long, and we just could not take our eyes off of them. After finally ripping ourselves away from the monkeys, we decided we were going to go to the swimming hole. At the end of that beautiful trail, there's these stairs that we walk down to get to the swimming hole, which pretty much this is just a stream with moving water, and they said it was safe to swim in, so we did for a little bit. After dinner, we got back on the boat for a nighttime caiman watch. It was so dark. Leo was at the front of the boat with a spotlight. He was able to track down some caimans for us. Story time. While I was sitting here watching this caiman, just taking pictures and enjoying myself, minding my own business, suddenly I had a sharp pain in my neck, followed by another sharp pain, and Leo came over to inspect it and found a stinger in my neck. Apparently there are nighttime wasps, and I guess it got me. Luckily I didn't have a reaction and I was okay, but it did worry me for a little bit. There was a little gecko on my cabin to welcome me home. The next morning I woke up a little sad because this was my time in the Amazon jungle coming to an end. I decided to wake up a little early before breakfast so that I could go out on one final walk around the jungle by myself. Little did I know that Leo had one last activity planned for us. He asked for a volunteer to open a Brazil nut, and of course I had to try it.
Hope I don't miss.
It's all yours.
Right. Okay.
Keep the distance.
Yeah, you got
guys.
this.
Take a bit here. Whoopa!
Oh,
Whoopa!
wait a minute.
It's the hardest fruit shell in the
I
entire
hit it.
world.
Look,
Yeah.
I got one good one.
Yeah, but it's,
I won't be able to hit it again in the same spot.
coconut is a cracker compared with this. Seriously, coconut. It's a biscuit. Whoopa!
Watch out.
Do you chop wood at home?
No.
Please, in the same spot, please.
If I can. Nope.
The first layer you see come out softly. The second layer is the hardest
Oh my god.
in the entire world. The hardest fruit shell in the entire world.
Ta-da.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, she did! Oh,
How
wow!
many?
Well done.
We all got to enjoy the fruits of my labor and try a Brazil nut. This was the final farewell from the Amazon jungle. Right after this, we got back on the boat and headed back to the airport. I've had an absolutely amazing time here in the Amazon jungle. I love it here so much. This is kind of my vibe with the animals and the humidity and the heat and the water. So it's just right up my alley. This is a perfect trip for me. I wish it was longer than 2 nights, but it was just at the end of my tour with G Adventures. So today we are going to go back to Lima, and then tomorrow I'll fly from Lima home. So my trip is coming to an end. Peru owes me nothing. I highly recommend going to Peru, either to the Amazon or to the Andes. Both are amazing. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe if you have not already. But I will see you guys next time.